the world actually going through so many changes and so many new tools that we have to use. But at the same time, the challenges that we face economically, the world is a very different place than it was even 5 years ago for people who are in business today. What advice would you give young people today who are either in school thinking about what they want to do with their lives, or they're actually recently graduated and they're trying to figure out how they get a job and all these things? With all of this proliferation of choice of how to proceed and all the challenges they face, what advice might you give them today?
Well, the first thing is, let me go back to the last question that you had, because I said I'd talk about technology and the personal element. And there's a personal element that kind of segues into this question. The personal element is I see more and more in the future learning about networking. Coaches, trainers, professional organizations who are teaching you how to network, maybe, possibly, universities will actually...
You sound skeptical, though, about that.
Highly skeptical. Highly skeptical about universities really jumping into this. And I'd love to talk about it. I'll make all of your full-time tenured professors upset.
I think there's a general uneasiness today about the high cost of education and how it doesn't necessarily prepare people for the real world.
Right.
What are your views on that?
All right. So you want a brutal response that your professors won't like, but your students might?
Yes, please.
Your alumni might. Okay, so true story. A few years ago, I was asked by a local university president who I'd gotten to know very well from a private nonprofit board we were both on. He asked me to sit down and have lunch with him and the dean of the School of Business, and to talk to this dean about what they're not teaching that's out in the real world that needs to be taught. So I sat down. We had lunch. The president laid it up perfectly. So, Ivan, what is it that you think that universities aren't teaching? And I said, that's easy. Business networking, social capital, emotional intelligence. These are things that are absolutely critical in the success of any business, and yet we're not teaching it. Now, at that time, I had just started to develop the data. I just started getting the responses from the gender book.
Right.
And one of the questions we asked is, what percentage of your business, the question was, have you achieved success through networking? We also asked, what percentage of your business are you getting, but have you achieved success through networking? 91.4% of the respondents said yes, that networking played a role in their success. 91.4%. When have you ever seen 91% of any group of people agree to anything?
It's almost boggling.
It is, and yet we're not teaching it.
Right.
And he looked at it and he said to me,
maybe that's why it's being so successful.
Well, maybe. And I said to him, that's what we need to be teaching. And he looked at me without skipping a beat and said, we'll never teach that at this university. Networking is a soft science.